What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. As you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about prison drama and prison girlfriends and all of the tea and all of the things that you guys ask me all the time. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times a day I get questions about relationships in prison, prison drama, prison girlfriends, sex in prison, how it happens, what they use, what happens if you're caught, STDs, like all of it. All of it. So in today's video, I'm gonna break it all down and I'm gonna give you guys everything that you need to know about prison drama with prison girlfriends and relationships in prison. I hope. I'm probably gonna forget some stuff, but I'll try my best. If you wanna follow me on any other social media platform, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, that's $2. It's only ever gonna be $2. All of that is linked down below, as well as my vlog channel and my podcast. All right, let's kick this thing off. I think the first thing that I'm gonna talk about is toys. So I've made a few shorts, AKA TikToks, and tons of people are like, wait, what? How is that safe? Why would they do that? What happens if they're caught with it? How is it made? What is happening? I've never heard of this. And I think the reason why you've never heard of it is because we have these weird myths about sex in prison and like how women use hot dogs, which is not true. That does not happen. I will die on this hill. No one is using mayonnaise for lube. Yes, I saw someone make a TikTok saying that people use mayonnaise for lube in prison, and like it went viral on prison TikTok, and all of the dudes are like, wait, what? No, we don't. Who told you that? That is not a reliable source. Like, we're not wasting food like that. Like, plus the mayonnaise packets that we get, if we're lucky enough to get mayonnaise, they're packets like this. No one's wasting that. No one's wasting that. And the hot dog thing, women are not using hot dogs for that. It's just not true. So what are they using? The first, these are in order of importance, okay? Your hand. Top of the list, your hand, solo activity by yourself. Number one, most popular. Number two, lesbians. Okay, so lesbians know everything, and because we have lesbians, we don't need a bunch of these random things that like men like to gossip about. Like the prison rumor gossip myth that men come up with is crazy. Like, you know, a man made up the whole we have to cut hot dogs in half thing, okay? And then it just like stuck and it lingered. And I've heard some people say that like the male inmates that worked in kitchen were told to cut them. A man did that, okay? Like, y'all were wasting your time. You didn't have to cut them. I promise. It is a very well-known fact that most women can't get their O with penetration alone. Sorry, dudes, y'all gotta do more, okay? So, hand, lesbians, makeshift toys. Women that are in a relationship together, sometimes they'll make a toy. Or maybe it's for a solo activity. I can't confirm. I don't know. I do know that I stole gloves from medical to sell to people that wanted to make them. So toys are made out of all different kinds of things. Soap, Jolly Ranchers. I have seen some people say that they would take a toothbrush holder, wrap pads around it, and then like put a glove over that. Or they'll shape the soap or whatever around the toothbrush holder. That makes sense. There's like one more layer to that for like masturbation, and like I'll add a fourth one in here, the shower. So if you're lucky enough to be in a shower that has good water pressure, the women will fight over the shower that has good water pressure because it feels really good. You know what I mean? That would be one of them too. Moving on from that, something that I don't see people talking about when they're talking about same-sex relationships for women in prison is the fact that so many of them end up turning toxic or turning bad, or there's domestic violence in these relationships. And I really want to make it a point to be very clear when I say this. I've very rarely seen a couple in prison that had a healthy, not toxic, just very happy relationship that didn't involve drama. There was so much drama surrounding prison girlfriends, and there was a lot of abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, and it was just really, really bad. And seeing that dynamic, seeing that go on was something that really affected me deeply, because most women that are in prison, around 60 to 70% of women, have endured some kind of abuse before coming to prison. And when they don't have healthy coping mechanisms or the tools to heal from that, or actual resources and therapy, they continue to get into very negative relationships that they're used to. Because the domestic violence, emotional abuse, and physical abuse was so bad between girlfriends in prison, I would see things like self-harm, women being put on suicide watch, which is a very, very dehumanizing and terrible response. A human is in crisis, and they're saying, I no longer want to be alive. The prison responds to that like this. They strip you of all of your clothes, they put you in a turtle suit or pickle suit or whatever, this green Velcro-y thing, because there's nothing that you can hurt yourself with, okay? They take away all of your things, sometimes even your glasses. Tiffany Jenkins told a story about them taking her glasses away. Awful. They put you in a room by yourself. There's nothing in it. There's no one in it. You're probably cold. I don't know why. They're just always cold. And you're being watched like a goldfish. It is the most horrifying thing. So could you imagine being so low, so depressed, so in crisis that you want to take your life? And the prison says, great, I'm gonna strip you of everything, put you in this cold ass cell with nothing and no one to talk to and no resources. The nurse is gonna come ask you if you're good, and the psychologist might come in for like a second, but like, we're gonna keep you here for 72 hours and we're gonna stare at you like you're a goldfish, okay? But you're good, right? The reason they do this is because our physical well-being in this scenario, in this moment, is more important to them than our mental well-being. And what I mean by that is they legally are obligated to try to make it look like they are trying to keep you alive. We're to leave the 72-hour hold and go back to the unit. A psychologist will come in and say, yep, Jess was cleared, she was good. Oh, we kept her here for 72 hours. We did everything that we could do, and she still ended up taking her life. So you can't blame us because we checked this list of things that we are legally required to do. Can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine? Now you might be wondering, why do women get in relationships with other women in prison if they have endured this kind of, emotional abuse, or if they're not mentally well, or whatever it is that you're thinking at home? I'm not a mind reader, but I'll tell you, it's because they're lonely, and prison is a very dark, very depressing, and very lonely place. They want a human connection. They want to feel like they're loved. They want to feel like they're not alone. They want to feel like someone is doing time with them. And a lot of people in prison do not have anyone on the outside. They don't have that human connection. They don't have family coming to visit them. They don't have that emotional and, social emotional connection with anyone else. So they look for that in prison. So if you're a woman and you find yourself in prison, there are rules when interacting or dealing with prison girlfriend drama or prison girlfriends, period. And these are like unspoken rules. No one's gonna come up to you day one and be like, hey, these are the rules that we have to follow. Like, kinda. They'll tell you like the important stuff, like don't change the TV without asking, like there's a whole thing, don't do that. Like they'll tell you like the big important stuff, you know what I mean? But you kind of just have to learn as you go, like what to not do. Or if the people that you associate with, they see some things like popping off and drama's getting crazy, then your friend, your prison friend, they might be like, yo, don't, just ignore that. Don't step in. They might tell you, or they might try to. And if no one does, then you might make some mistakes along the way and learn the hard way. So rule number one, if you're in prison and you see prison girlfriend drama, do not step in. And that's really the case with most prison fights. Like if it's one-on-one, don't step in. Don't step in. That's not your business. Don't involve yourself in that. Are there exceptions to this rule? Yes, there are. However, it is in your best interest to not step in, not get involved, because I promise you, after they're done with their fight, they're probably gonna get back together, right? And then guess what? Now they hate you. Now they can't talk to you. Now there's a whole like feud. You didn't ask for this fight. You didn't ask for this. It's none of your business. But there are some exceptions to the rule. Like if you see someone weaker and they're getting ganged up on, they're being taken advantage of, or, maybe they're new, maybe they're green, they don't know how prison works, and they got some money coming in, so people are trying to team up on this person and bully this person for no reason, then, it's up to you to use your judgment to step in. And for me personally, there's only one time, is that true? One or two times, one that I can remember right now, that I stepped in and I was like, yo, no, you're not gonna take her commissary, back up. That's not easy to do, right? Because how am I, a person that weighs 120 pounds, 5'5", 120 pounds, how am I going to fight 5 of you, right? Because you want to take this girl's commissary and she's too weak and too green and too new to say no. That was a tough thing to do. That was a tough decision to make. Those girls that were taking this commissary, they automatically think that I'm trying to get her food, right? I'm trying to get her stuff and I'm trying to take it, and I wasn't. Long story short, that girl picked me up from prison. And she was, had never been to prison before. And she's like, I'm going home next week. I promise I'll come pick you up. I'll write you. And I'm like, don't do that. Like, don't say that you're gonna do that. Life moves really fast when you get outside. Don't promise things that you believe right now, but things change, right? And I know that your heart is sincere, but it's okay. And she did. And I was really surprised. Some people definitely surprised me along the way, but almost everyone says they're gonna write you or do something for you when they get home, and they never do. They almost never do. Rule number 2, don't talk to someone else's girlfriend for too long. Maybe you're at the bulletin board, okay? And like she's at the bulletin board and the girlfriends are always jealous, and I'm asking you about something. It could be totally innocent. You know what I mean? Like, did they put the sign up for, no. Don't stay there too long. Don't ask them too many things. Don't get too friendly. And that's tough because what if you're just friendly, okay? What if you're just nice? just don't be. Just don't be too nice to someone's girlfriend, especially if you are a femme and they are a stud. Now, I did not come up with these words or this terminology. They did. The studs are like sexy. You know, they're sexy. They usually have muscles and a shaved head. Not always a shaved head, but they're sexy and they're studs. The studs are sexy and they call themselves that. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just what they call themselves. But usually the studs, they look like boys and they're sexy and they got muscles and like they will fuck you up if you're talking to that girlfriend too long. So be careful. They can fight. Rule number 3, do not gossip about girlfriend drama basically ever. Try your best not to. Like, you can talk about it with, like, I don't know, in visitation if you whisper. You can write home about it. Don't talk about it where people can hear, because I promise you there's always an issue. There's always gonna be an issue. Someone's gonna repeat it, and then guess what? Now you have people that are mad at you and now they wanna fight you and their homies wanna fight you, and it's like this whole thing because you were talking shit and gossiping. So that sucks. That's like all the rules I can think of with how to interact with prison girlfriend drama and prison girlfriends that I can think of. I know I'm forgetting some, so if you know some, put them in the comment section down below. Moving on, let's talk about gay for the stay. So gay for the stay means that when you go to prison, you go in straight, and while you're there, you meet someone and you have a connection with them and you get into an intimate relationship with them. That is what gay for the stay means. Now, in prison, there is so much catty ass, gossipy ass drama when it comes to people being gay for the stay. There are a ton of people in prison that talk so much crap about someone who is gay for the stay. They don't like it. And if you are gay for the stay, but someone's like gay all the time, I don't know, it's so stupid. But they talk bad about each other in a really negative way because they're like, oh, she's not really gay. She was straight on the street, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know why there is that like superiority and gatekeeping of being gay. But there is, and it gets so toxic and so dramatic and so ridiculous. Like, who cares if she had, you know, all boyfriends in her past? She found someone that she feels as though she has a real connection with. And I don't think that all of these relationships are all superficial or someone's using the other. That happens, and I'll get to that in a second. I think people go in there and they really genuinely believe that this person they have a connection with. And finally, they don't feel like they're alone. They finally feel like they have someone they can talk to, not in a letter or a phone call, that's right there experiencing the same thing that they're experiencing. I don't know if you guys can hear the garbage truck, but he's like lingering. I really appreciate my garbage men. They're amazing, but like the truck is always so loud. Just a selfish YouTuber here trying to film. Let's talk about the relationships that women get into in prison because they're using or manipulating somebody. Because I told you these relationships can get really, really toxic really, really fast. There are tons of examples I could give you of a woman wanting to date another woman because she has money. And I have seen it time and time again. These women will fight over someone that has money that is either openly gay or they're trying to get them to be gay for the stay and get in an intimate relationship with them so that they get all of the rewards of that. They get money. Maybe they can get money on their books or they can get their commissary. That happens a lot. Well, if you're brand new and you happen to have your family sending you in some money and you've never experienced this kind of like crazy, you know, environment where everyone just wants whatever they can get and everyone is just trying to take care of themselves and they're trying to get their basic needs met and they're hungry and they have no money, and like when you're in an environment like that and you've never been in one before and you're just a nice person and you're naturally giving, baby, people will take and take and take and take and take from you until you have nothing left. And then if you have been saying yes for so long and then you start to say no, guess what? It's a problem. Then they get aggressive, then they get crappy, then, you know, it's just a very different environment all of a sudden when you try to say no and you try to be firm in that boundary. Also, that carries out into the street, into relationships in the street. So, you know, cool. Some people suck. Prison girlfriend tattoos is the next category. So I cannot even tell you how many times I have met women that had their prison girlfriend, their name, tattooed on their body. I'm not judging you. That's not the first name I've tattooed on my body. I am not judging you. I am the last person on earth that would ever judge. Mindy, you know what I'm talking about. My friend Mindy Scorpio, I'll tag her down below. She has her prison girlfriend tattooed on her. Girl, we gotta go get a cover up, come on. But it is an entire thing. I have seen women get their girlfriend's name, their prison girlfriend's name that they have never interacted with in the street, never lived with in the street, don't know who they really are outside of this environment. I have seen them get that name tattooed on their neck, okay? Why would they do that? It's because these connections are really deep. You really feel like this person knows you and understands you, again, because they're experiencing a lot of the same shit that you're experiencing. Maybe you're there for the same reason. Maybe you're both in addiction. Maybe you both had robbery. Maybe you're both from the same side of town or the same kind of environment, or your families were really similar, you know, and they just really are passionate and believe that this is going to be their person. I think I've only seen one couple meet in prison, go home and get married, and they're happy. Should Facebook stalk them to make sure. But this couple was so cute, and they had problems in prison. You know, they met in prison, they fell in love in prison, there was tons of drama, and they definitely broke up a couple of different times because it was really stressful. And then when they got out, were together, and they got married. Now, can two inmates who meet in prison get married in prison? My first instinct was to say no, but I wanted to double check that, so I went and Googled it, and it says that two imprisoned people cannot get married because the rules are like no, and they also cannot be in an intimate relationship together, which takes me to the prison rules of dating, which I should have included back when I was talking about the rules. The administration does not want you dating each other. They just don't, and it is just against the rules, and some states are really messed up about it. Some states will not only put you in SAG, like put you in the hole and punish you for being in a relationship or being caught in a same-sex relationship in prison. Some states, like Arkansas, will take it a step further, and if you have enough of those charges of dating an inmate or like having a sexual relationship with an inmate, they will make you register as a sex offender when you get out, or at least that's what they threatened to all of us. I don't know if that actually happens, but they told everyone that. And it was a while ago that I was serving time in Arkansas, okay? So like, I don't know. Please let me know in the comment section down below if that is a real thing or if you know someone that has had to do that. But oh my, when they said that to me, I was like, it was like after the Priya video. The Priya video is Prison Rape Elimination Act. And that is a video that is very bizarre and very creepy, where there's like a Snickers bar in a bed and they're like, oh, don't take this candy bar because sexual no, the video is so ridiculous, but I'm pretty sure that if you're an inmate and you're in a relationship with another inmate, I'm pretty sure that you cannot marry that inmate. And again, we're talking about prison girlfriends, we're talking about same-sex relationships in prison, so don't think it can happen, I'm pretty sure. Some guards will go out of their way, homophobic, to make sure that you are not in a relationship with another woman. They'll read letters, they'll try to catch you passing kites, they'll search your stuff constantly. There was a time where we had this whole raid in our unit, and the dog came in, you know, the drug dog, and there's tons of cops everywhere. Well, I could tell that there were girlfriends that were like nervous or whatever, and I'm thinking it's drugs, right? Like, why wouldn't you flush it? They pulled out a toy, and it was a makeshift double-ended strap, and all of the guards were just like dying laughing, and okay, you're adults, we're all adults here, like stop, it's just a toy, just move on. Well, they were very like weird about it, and they just were nasty to the girlfriends, who handled it so well, by the way. They're like, okay, laugh it up, like at least we're getting some. You know what I mean? Like, they were good about it. They were super like chill and not, I mean, what can you do if a guard is talking shit to you? Nothing. But you know, it is what it is, and it happens. This is a whole video. I've seen a chaplain kick out openly gay women in church. They walked into church with the rest of their unit to come to church, and this chaplain kicked these openly gay women out of church. Ironically enough, that chaplain is Kenneth DeWitt, and he was the chaplain in McPherson unit in Arkansas, and he went to prison because he was actually assaulting inmates and raping them. He got a 5-year sentence. 5 years. To put that into perspective for you, I also got 5 years for selling drugs. But that is really a whole video. Like, I've seen guards, staff members, chaplains, etc., in-house parole officers, people in the administration, I've seen them be openly homophobic. I didn't see women being openly hateful or homophobic to other women. I just didn't see it. It was accepted. I don't care what color you are, who you pray to, what your sexual orientation is. Just don't be a dick and we're gonna get along. Just don't suck and like be cool and we're gonna get along. I don't care about any of that other stuff. The people that I associated with in prison were the same, you know? Just don't be an asshole. Don't hurt someone weaker than you. Don't take advantage of someone weaker than you. Be cool. Don't move my stuff. If I set it down on the bench when I'm trying to watch TV, don't cut me in line. And I think prison was good in that sense for me, is that I got around tons of different people. I mean, I traveled the country on and off since I was 19, right? Knocking on doors all over the country. But prison also helped me continuously be in a group of people that were from different backgrounds, sometimes even different countries, different cultures. They had different religions and different political beliefs and were from all over the place, right? Because I was fortunate enough to break away from my hometown and get away from the same 12 people in the same 2 bars, and because I was able to do that and I spent time around people that didn't look like me, don't have the same religious beliefs as me, don't vote like me, they don't have the same sexual orientation as me, the same background or culture or ethnicities. Because I was able to spend time around so many people, it really helped me open my mind and helped me see what is really important. And people can say all day long, like, it's the content of their character, but what does that really mean to you? You know, what does that really mean to you? Okay, I think that's all I have for this video. I know that I left some stuff out like I always do, but please let me know your rules or like things with prison girlfriend drama or your experiences in the comment section down below. But I'm gonna end today's video here. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery, whatever that looks like to you, because your recovery is your business and no one else's. And I will see you guys in my next one.